Chairman Business. So your reference to Rule 16, I want us to read Rule 16 together in conjunction with Rule 18.
Hold on.
You'll be challenged on what you will get your opportunity. 16 and 18 seem to be similar.
They are not.
Okay. 16
is talking about the bill that passed at third reading, for example. The Rule 18 is talking about business of the house from let me read it. The business of the house which is all completed and laid in the house by emptying of the house and determined at the end of the assembly shall be resumed and proceeded in the next assembly in the same manner as if the tenure of the assembly had not come to an end. If the house resolved in the affirmative, such bills upon being regazetted be considered in the committee of the whole without comments.
Okay, so Honorable the Chairman Business, both you believe that Rule 16 is what is applicable here. You believe that Rule 16 is what is applicable in this instance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we've read Rule 16, we've read Rule 18. I think the two of them have one thing in common. And that is the issue of regazetting. Although Rule 16 now gives an alternative. It says copies circulated. So what we need to find out now is whether or not it was regazetted or three copies circulated. You agree? Yes, we need to find out. And I'll tell you why. Honorable colleagues, please. You know. It's important when we do our business, and I'm glad that you agree. That is the only issue here. The issue of constitutional and all of those things, for me, though very important, are not things we should be explaining at this point in time. And in all things, pray this morning as we pray every day. We say, help us with our grace to do all those things that will promote the unity, peace, happiness and prosperity of Nigeria. And that is what we should do here. So, but I will allow Honorable Abota to say what he wants to say, and then I'll give my ruling on this issue later. Honorable Abota.
Mr. Speaker,
Go back to your seat.
Section 717, I invite the Speaker of the session to ask you.
He's working.
I repeat about again. Permit me to invoke section rules under section rule 71 of our rules. Invoking the eminence and certificate, I call upon you that the Speaker of the session beseech you to do the needful by interpreting the rules in all of you. True, my feet. This is the paper that were used to do that motion. It was labeled section 18. Now he forgotten that he lied on 16. So it was a bunch of 16 if we came by 18 and 16. Therefore, subject this to your ruling and give us your ruling as some here. Thank you.
Wait. the chairman business and rules is relying on rule 16. But you are saying that the other paper relied on the motion relied on rule 18. Can I have a look? Okay. Chairman. Yes. Okay, so without the yes and kingdom, then we'll close. Yes.
Your Excellency, the Speaker, respected colleagues. My name is Ahmed Idris and was Secretary of State. Your Excellency, the Speaker, I'm waiting to be taken aback on the arguments being given on the floor of the House. Mr. Speaker, if you recall, before the Constitution Bill, there was a day this bill was slated for registration. Some members approached you, including the leader of the opposition. And you have to now ask the chairman of rules business to provide you the relevant evidences that this bill was considered in the last house. That day we stepped down the bill. That day was circulated. And I don't know, Mr. Speaker, that you want to now change the rules midway. I know, and I do know that there are a lot of bills, more than 20-30 in similar direction that this House should have. If it's contentious, is that the way to answer? Is that the way to now come back and blackmail the House? I was the chairman of House Committee of the Whole. I know, and that may be. There was no way to present a bill without copies. Of course, how many of you were on the floor? How many of you were on the floor? I have always complained for the fact that you refuse to attend yourself. Can we show the clip? Can we give clip? You will now know exactly who was there. If you refuse to come to the house to defend the people after the session they came and said we should do, otherwise Mr. Speaker is against our rules. That should be tolerated. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues. King Chinda, I represent Obi Federal Constituency. I'm an Igbo man from Rivers State. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I don't want us to make the mistake of looking at the merit and demerit of the bill at this stage. What our colleague has raised is that his right as a parliamentarian has been infringed upon as a result of wrong procedure. And Mr. Speaker, a lot of us align with that position. Simply, we ought to re-gazette this bill. And the simple truth is, if we fail to adhere to the procedure, even when it is asserted by Mr. President, the court can set it aside. So what is wrong in adopting the proper procedure? It's not asking that the bill should be killed. Let us re-gazette it. There are members who were not in the previous assembly who had the opportunity of seeing that bill gazetted. Give them the opportunity. Aside that, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, if you look at that 12 rule 3, it also says that we have 3 different days to schedule bills. Whether it is a bill that was removed from previous assembly or a fresh bill, unless we set aside the rule. This particular bill was listed for committee of the whole the same day the motion for reconsideration was listed. Same other paper. It is also offensive against Order 12 Rule 3. So the simple thing we should do to correct it might be a very beautiful bill. Other countries have similar bills. very beautiful as it may be, we commend those who crafted it. But at this stage, let us do the proper thing. Let us send it back, re-gazette it, bring it up for full consideration and argument, so that Nigerians will also be carried along, and they will be convinced by the time we pass this bill. It will be counterproductive if we're in a hurry to pass this bill. So I will urge and pray that we consider the issues raised by our colleague and take a decision in the interest of the entire country that we represent here. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On that note, I will second the application.
Honorable colleagues, we have a matter of privilege on the floor. Matters of privilege are not meant to be debated, but because of the sensitivity of your matter, we open it up for debate. Matters of privilege are not meant to be debated, but because of the sensitivity of your matter, we open it up for debate. Honorable colleagues, I have just read out prayers we pray every day. And I want you to recall that I had a bill on the floor of this house, the infectious disease bill, which at the end generated a lot of controversy. We were informed that we passed the speed of light, which was neither here nor there, and that the procedure was wrong, and that it was not sent for public hearing. And being sensitive to the people, I stepped my bill down and I sent it to public hearing. Fundamental issues are raised by Honorable Mzondo about his privilege and that many others being breached. He has backed it up by clear language and provisions of our rules, which says any such bill must be gazetted. The chairman business and rules sought to rely on Rule 16, which gives a window of either re-gazette or clean copies. Unfortunately, it appears some people have done their homework. I was presented with the motion itself for the day, which not talk about 16, but talk about 18, which does not give the alternative of clean copies, which strictly says it must be gazetted. We don't want to do things here that the courts will annul based on a procedure. So there may still be good in this bill, but I think it's good to err on the side of caution. And I think the bill should be sent back for re-gazetting and brought back to the floor so that we consider that nobody has any issue at that point. The right thing would have been done. So the ruling will be that please very quickly, Chairman and Rule, please send the bill for re-gazetting and bring it back to the floor. We're going to first of the day. First of the day is commencement of debate of the General Principle of an Act to establish Federal Medical Center or your state. Yeah, sorry. First of all, is the presentation of 29 bills. I now invite the clerk to read their short title.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members. Data is of project of Nigeria Assembly 2024 reading. Data is of operations and supply chain professional Assembly 2024 reading. Data is of inventory control management professional Assembly 2024 reading. Data is of technology Okija, Anambra State Assembly 2024 reading. National Registration Agency Act Amendment 2024 reading. Constitution of the Federal Government of Nigeria 1999 Operation 2024 reading. Nigerian Armed Forces Service Commission Assembly 2024 reading. Nigerian Foreign Heroes Welfare Agency 2024 reading. National Institute for Police Studies NIMS Establishment 2024 reading. National Development Act Amendment 2024 reading. Harmful Waste Special Criminal Provisions etc. Act Amendment 2024 reading. Oil and Gas Investment and Fuels Zones 2024 reading. Institute of State Professionals of Nigeria Act Amendment 2024 reading. Nigerians Diaspora Commission Act Amendment 2024 reading. Trafficking in Persons Prohibition, Enforcement and Administration Amendment 2024 reading. Constitution of the Federal Government of Nigeria Operation 2024 reading. Constitution of the Federal Government of Nigeria Operation 2024 reading. Constitution of the Federal Government of Nigeria Operation 2024 reading. Constitution of the Federal Government of Nigeria Operation 2024 reading. Constitution of the Federal Government of Nigeria Operation 2024 reading. Companies and Allied Tax Act Amendment 2024 reading. Federal Medical Center Act Establishment 2024 reading. Constitution of the Federal Government of Nigeria 1999 Operation 2024 reading. Federal University of Agriculture Ubagba Establishment 2024 reading. Federal Medical Center Agogo Establishment 2024 reading. Federal Colleges of Education Act Amendment 2024 reading. Nigerian Railway Corporation Act Amendment 2024 reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Operation Indulgence of Judiciary in States Bill 2024 reading. Taxes and levies approved. List for Collection Act Amendment Bill 2024 reading. Petroleum Industry Bill 2024 reading.
Silence, listeners.
Honorable Governor, the first order of the day is the interim debate on the general proposal of the bill for an act to establish Federal Medical Center Igboho, Oyo State. Okay. And for legal matters, standing in the name of Honorable Ojeri Day. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 25 February 2020, and I invite Honorable Ojeri Day that the bill be now read a second time. Honorable Ojeri Day.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representing Mr. Speaker, can you permit me to read the general principle of the bill for an act to establish Federal Medical Center Igboho, Oyo State? This bill was first read 26 January 2020 with the concentration of poverty, low status, and high burden of disease in rural areas. There is need to focus specifically on improving health of the people in the rural and remote areas, particularly if urban drift is to be reversed. It is worthy to note, however, that the local government area, despite its strategic education and application, is appropriately health challenge as no quality tertiary facility. Mr. Speaker, honorary colleagues, it is my interest you know, that the development in Oyo State is concentrated in the urban areas and there's neglect of the entire Oyo North, where Olorun-Sogo, Orilope Federal Constituency is located. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, looking at the plight of my people, I keep asking, where's equity, where's justice, and where's fairness? Knowing the large state of famine in Igbo is the capital of the local government area, lies in fertile country wood savannah. It spreads over 717 kilometers square. It is disparity in socio-economic development as reflected by the lack of adequate health facilities in local government. The consequence of all this is the prevailing low quality of life of the people of my federal constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, it is therefore
Silence, please.
it is therefore logical
Honorable
area of such strategic, economic, and cultural geographic significance should have a
Honorable
federal
Francis,
health
take your
facility.
seat.
Research has shown that the tertiary health facility makes 0.25% of the health facility in the country. The low tertiary health care facilities per population can lead to the lengthy wait for specialized care. The present fight against COVID is a proof to the fact that as a nation, we need more health facilities in order to adequately cater for the needs of the people. Therefore, considering the various deprivation of the good people of my constituency have suffered and continue to suffer in the healthcare services and delivery, the establishment of the Federal Medical Center Igbo to the service of the entire Oyo North and neighboring states will go a long way, reducing the burden on the overstretched tertiary teaching hospitals and health institutions in Nigeria. The bill seeks to equip, maintain, construct, and operate the center with qualified technicians, doctors, and nurses, operate clinics out of patient departments, laboratories, experimental stations like the other institutions for the effective functioning of the center, ensure that the medical standards are provided at the establishment under its control, also to ensure that the standard of treatment and cure provided is in line with international best practices. Articulate general policy guidelines relating to major expansion program of the center. Provide facility for training, medical students, and associate institutions. Establish a World Medical Center with medical facilities and technically equipped personnel. This bill has 6 parts and 7 sections and a schedule containing supplementary provision on the principal officers and the organs of medical center with explanatory memorandum. It also deals with the establishment, constitution, principal officers and governing council of the medical center and their tenure, deals with the power and function of the governing council, deals with the staff of the Federal Medical Center, their appointment and conduct of service, deals with the matter relating to financial provision, annual reports, and power to borrow, deals with general administration and staff discipline, deals with miscellaneous provision, interpretation, and citation. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, This is of advantage to my constituency. It provides and improves the quality of life and medical services received by the good people of Irepo Olorunshogo Federal Constituency or your state. The bridge manpower deficit being experienced in the local health facility within the federal constituency, reduce maternal child mortality rates in the federal constituency, provide employment opportunity, thereby accelerating socio-economic development to the host community of the Federal Medical Center. It is generally believed that when the federal institution of this magnitude is established in every rural area in this country, will support infrastructural rollout that will eventually drive socio-economic development of my people and the state at large. The Federal Medical Center will boost urban-rural connectivity that will bring the influx of people and new businesses to Irepo, Orelokwe, Olorunshogo Federal Constituency within and outside this country. I therefore appeal to the Speaker, to Mr. Speaker, and highly respected colleagues in the Ado Chamber for your overwhelming support that this bill be passed and be referred to the relevant committees for further legislative process. Thank you. God bless the Ninth Assembly.
The question is that the bill be now read a second time. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk, please read the long title.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the bill for now to establish Federal Medical Center at Bogo for your state and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to Committee on Health Institutions. Who was raising a point of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm coming order 8 through 5. I'm Honorable Comrade Chinedu Oga. I represent Asa South Iko Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise with a sense of pride and commend to the Mr. Speaker and other leaders of this House of Representatives for their prompt intervention on the disagreement between the Labour and the federal government. The intervention of the Mr. Speaker led to the resolution of the problem that lead to the strike that's supposed to come up today. You do not only meet with the Labour, but also engage the executive through the foundation of the renowned negotiation that lead to the true calling off the strike. Mr. Speaker, your exceptional skill in applying legislative diplomacy has once again made us proud member of the Ninth Assembly and will surely carve a place in the history of this Ninth Assembly. You will continue to enjoy our support, continue to lead this House to serve the people. We commend the government and the Labour, the encourage them to abide by the agreement, assure them of legislative support to ensure that the interests of Nigerians are protected. Mr. Speaker, I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and honorable colleagues. Thank you, and God bless us.
Thank you, Honorable Chinedu, for your commendation for the leadership and the whole House. Thank you very much. Second order of the day is a motion on chairman business. I thought you said you were stepping that down.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Abubakar Samflata. I represent Berniwa Krika Samagri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, I move to step down the consideration of the first motion on the order paper. I so move.
The motion step down. Third order of the day is a motion on urgent need to end the incessant killings in Guri and Kiri Kasama local government areas of Jigawa State. Stand in the name of Honorable Abubakar Hassan Fulata. Honorable Fulata is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Abubakar Hassan Fulata. I represent Berniwa Krika Samagri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, the House notes the violent encounters between farmers and herdsmen in Guri and Krikasama local government areas of Jigawa State, which has claimed several lives and property on a recurrent basis, such that the lives of farmers in the area are perpetually in danger. Also notes that unless urgent action is taken, the people of these two local government areas would be plunged into starvation as rampaging hordes of herdsmen kill the farmers, destroy their crops, and feed their livestock. Concerned that in June 2020, over 20 farmers were killed and over 60 people sustained various degrees of injury and several crops destroyed by herdsmen in Adiane town of Guri local government. Also aware that on Friday, 18 September 2020, Madama town in Guri local government was invaded by herdsmen and one farmer was killed and over 20 people sustained machete and arrow wounds. Equally in Krikasama local government, the people of Marma, Zagari, Madachi, Matara, Likori, Gubusum, and Sunkwe now live in perpetual fear, worried that the perpetrators of these crimes are known, but were either not arrested or released shortly after they are arrested by the police and never prosecuted. House resolve, one, to urge the Department of State Services, DSS, and Inspector General of Police, IGP Special Task Force, to conduct thorough investigation with a view to apprehending and prosecuting the herders and members of the killer herdsmen. Two, also urge National Emergency Management NEMA to supply relief materials to all the affected victims of the violence at Adiane, Madamawa, Marma, Guri, and Krikasama local government areas of Jigawa State. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Any seconder? The Chief Whip.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I'm standing for the Chief Whip. My names are Honorable Dr. Haruna Michelia. I stand, Your Excellency, to second the motion ably moved by the Chairman, Rules and Business. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Fulata, I think it's very clear, don't need for debate. So I just put the question. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Fourth order of the day is motion on non-release of take-off grant to federal universities across the country. Stand in the name of Honorable Unyime Idem. Honorable Idem is invited to move the motion.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Idem Unyime, member representing Ukanafun Urugunam Federal Constituency in Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to present this motion on non-release of take-off grants to federal universities across the country. The House notes that there are some federal universities in Nigeria that are yet to receive take-off grants decades after their establishment and commencement of academic activities. Aware that take-off grants are seed funds provided by federal government to assist newly established universities for take-off of academic activities, support training, pays the salaries of pioneer workers, assist in the provision of requisite technology, books and other crucial materials needed to run the school. Concerned that most second and third generation universities had to commence academic activities from existing secondary, technical school, or state universities as the case may be. Also concerned that University of Uyo, formerly known as University of Cross River State, UNICROSS, a third generation university established in October 1, 1991, commenced academic activities without the initial takeoff grants and had to grapple with lean resources to manage its affairs. As a result, could not develop properly till date. Also aware that other institutions such as the Mike Orokpara University of Agriculture, Umuahia, University of Jos, and Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, among others, are yet to receive their takeoff grants decades after being established, and this has hampered their growth. Concerned that this unfortunate development has hampered the rapid provisions of required infrastructure at various main campuses of the affected universities, overstretching the existing facilities due to lack of lecture halls. Also concerned that failure of federal government to release the state takeoff grant to the affected universities from the onset has led to untold hardship, since funds that would have been used for other projects were deployed to provide immediate remediation. Worried that these universities are still facing the challenges of inability to prove a befitting physical facility, payment of staff promotion arrears of salary shortfalls, payment of earned allowances, and engagement of most staff to improve the staff-student ratio. Disturbed that other universities established after these universities have enjoyed the privileges of receiving takeoff grants ranging from 2 billion to 5 billion from the federal government. The House resolved to mandate the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, release the takeoff grant meant for the University of Uyo, mandate the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services to liaise with the federal government to ensure compliance and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I so move.
Any seconder? Honorable Luke.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Luke, I represent the people of the Tinan, Nserubium Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second that motion on notice for the release of takeoff grants for University of Uyo as moved, and other tertiary institutions as moved by Honorable Unyeme Josiah Eden. I so second, sir.
Honorable Eden, I'm going to put the question. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Fifth order of the day is a motion on devastating effects of deforestation and the need for extensive tree planting in Nigeria, standing in the name of Honorable Kolawole Lawal. Honorable Lawal is invited to move his motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Kolawole Lawal, representing Yewa South, Ipokia Fire constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Ogun State. I rise to move a motion on devastating effects of deforestation and the need for extensive tree planting in Nigeria. The House notes that trees improve air quality by filtering harmful dust, odors, and pollutants such as ozone, carbon monoxide, and sulfur dioxide from the air we breathe. The House also notes that not only can trees benefit the economy by reducing heating and cooling costs, trees can also reduce our dependence on oil and natural gas. The House is aware that according to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, the requirements of sustainable forest management include extent of forest resources, biological diversity, forest health and vitality, productive functions of forest resources, protective functions of forest resources, socio-economic functions, and the legal, policy, and institutional framework. The House is also aware that forests have been associated with helping to reduce flooding, as many flooding disasters have been partly blamed on the effects of deforestation. The House is further aware that Nigeria, as is a member nation of the Coalition of Foreign Forest Nations, CFRN, which seeks to, among other things, manage tropical marine forests in a way that supports climate stability, conserve biodiversity, and help development and poverty alleviation efforts. The House is concerned that due to high demand for timber, which is used for the production of furniture, paper, and in the construction industry, there has been an increase in illegal logging, which has resulted in deforestation in Nigeria, the consequence of which Nigeria has been rated by the FAO as the country with the highest risk of deforestation in the world. The House is also concerned that many aspects of FAO requirements are currently not being met in Nigeria and will continue to have detrimental effects if not quickly addressed. The House is cognizant that tree planting is one of the options adopted by many nations towards curbing the serious and irreversible changes of climate change, as trees help absorb the greenhouse gases and carbon emissions that are caused by human civilizations. The House is worried that a lot of damage has been done to Nigeria's land through the process of deforestation, notably contributing to desertification and increased temperatures across the country. The House is again aware that there is hardly any implementation of forest management policies, and very few attempts have been made to lower deforestation rates and stop illegal logging. Hence, Nigerians are hardly aware of how to prevent deforestation. The House is also worried that deforestation has led to soil degradation across the country, resulting in poor crop yields and economic loss to the nation as a whole. It has therefore resolved to urge the Federal Ministry of Environment to implement and enforce policies that discourage deforestation. It has also resolved to urge Federal Ministry of Environment to embark on sensitization campaigns to create awareness across the country on the need to imbibe the culture of tree planting in order to mitigate the negative consequences of climate change caused by indiscriminate deforestation. It also resolves to call on the federal government to liaise with institutions, communities, and other relevant stakeholders with a view to offering capacity building opportunities, productive partnerships, and sustainable schemes that can create
more economic activities to sustain hardworking rural dwellers and discourage them from indiscriminate cutting of trees. As finally resolves to mandate the Committee of Environment to ensure compliance. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I so move.
Any seconder? Honorable, yes.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Benjamin Okize Carlo. I represent the good people of Nigeria, starting from Bende Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to support this motion, ably moved by my colleague. I so second.
Okay, so I just realized that there's an amendment. Honorable Duku, you have an amendment?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm Honorable Aisha Jibril Duku, Gimbiaro Duku, member representing Dukuna for the Federal Constituency. I come from Gombe State. Mr. Speaker, while commending my colleague for this very important motion, I propose an additional amendment that our laws, our forest laws, should be amended to provide for stringent punishment for defaulters. The laws are no more invoked, they are archaic. They don't provide for stringent punishment, and they are left with our traditional rulers. There is need to review the law so that we provide stringent punishment for those that are cutting our trees. And I also want to urge all our colleagues to please support this motion. Thank you.
Okay, those in favor of the amendment, any seconder to the amendment? Honorable Serious.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Sergius Ose Ogun. I represent Eastern Northeast, Eastern Southeast, and from Edo State. I rise to second the motion, the amendment ably moved by Honorable Duku. I so second.
Thank you. Those in support of the amendment say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of the motion as amended, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. Sixth order of the day is a motion on urgent need to speed up the certificates of Malam Aminu Kano International Airport to world-class standards, standing in the name of Honorable Haruna Dederi. Honorable Dederi is invited to move his motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues. Right, Honorable Speaker, this is a motion on the urgent need to speed up the certification of Malam Aminu Kano International Airport to world standard. The House, Mr. Speaker, notes that the certification of Malam Aminu Kano International Airport commenced since 2017, but has not been completed. Aware that Malam Aminu Kano International Airport is the oldest airport in Nigeria, where the first aircraft landed in Nigeria at Kano in 1922, and full operations in Kano Airport started in 1936, with flights from the airport to Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and international flights to Cairo, Addis Ababa, Medina, Khartoum, and other destinations. Also aware that certification means an official document issued by the regulatory authority supported by technical documentation demonstrating that the aerodrome for which it was issued meets specific air safety related criteria. TOR certification helps to show that airport meets international best practices. Further aware that the certification of an airport entails making sure that everything is up to date, working, and checked on a regular basis. It also encompasses all elements of safety oversight, such as aviation legislation, operating regulations, civil aviation system, personnel training and certification, development of guidance materials, and safety critical information, as well as surveillance and resolution of safety concerns. Again, aware that airport certification is one of the requirements of ICAO and the NCAA and covers security, safety, and equipment. It shows the airport operator and aircraft operators with documented proof that the facilities they operate or use are safe. Concerned that the certification of Aminu Kano Airport started the same year, 2017, with that of Lagos